Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jody Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardio. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. Everybody across the Preach the Word Worldwide Network and our vast podcast audience across all of the video platforms and audio platforms that we have all across the world. Thank you so much for being with us today. We have got a fantastic show planned for you as we're going to be helping to promote our good friends, Doctors Mark and Michele Sherwood's brand new movie entitled The Prayer List. But before we get to that, let's join Jody and Luke over at the tech booth. As guys,
hey guys,
get this show on the road. Man, there is a lot to talk about today because this movie is going to be amazing, and we're so excited to be able to promote it. But before we do that, let us look and see what is happening in the world today.
Yeah.
Today is November the 18th. We're just a little bit under a week, or over a week, a week away from Thanksgiving. A week from tomorrow. We'll be all stuffing our faces.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm
We
already
will
ready
be.
to eat.
Laying in food comas and that kind of thing. And this is where we'll be. We will be in Kentucky at my parents' house and my grandparents' house, and we're going to have a great time with a bunch of people. And Lord, everybody's worried about COVID and all kinds of stuff, but
I'm just worried about if I can get a second helping. You know?
Yeah, use caution. You'll be fine. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what's going on in the world today?
Today is a special birthday. Don't ask me the number though. It is Mickey Mouse's birthday.
Today is actually the day Mickey Mouse came into the world.
Yes,
The mouse.
We have
birthday,
three.
Mickey Mouse.
We have at one time had 3 Mickey Mouses going to our church.
They're actually called Friend of.
Friends.
We didn't have to say who it was.
No, I know. That's true.
A friend of Mickey Mouse was going to the church
We know the
for a
rules.
while. Several of them. So and that was really kind of cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
We've had those same people are friends with like the cat from Aristocrats.
Oh yeah.
Aristocats.
Aristocats. Yes. There's
Chippendale, Minnie.
And that's
Actually, so happy birthday, Mickey. All of us in Orlando, thank you for moving here.
Yes.
We know that we wouldn't pretty much have much of a city here. It was a cow town before that.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
All right, what else is going on?
It's also Princess Day.
It's so fitting. It's like Disney's having a slew of holidays today.
I don't have my princess crown on today. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I've known a few princesses, Disney, friends.
yeah,
of
we've
princesses.
known a couple of those
I
too.
don't think you call them friends of though on there because
Yeah,
I think they are. Yeah,
on
they're
their-
not allowed to say that
On
they're.
their Instagrams,
No,
it always
because
says,
I know-
they
I'm
shows.
friends with Belle.
I know when I tried out for Darth Vader, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
You can't tell people that you're Darth Vader. You have to say you're friends with
You're
Darth
friends
Vader.
with.
So those were fun times. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, today is National Princess Day, and so how are we supposed to celebrate that? Do we know?
Well, aside
Put on
from
your
the
favorite
Disney,
dress. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and you
Luke,
acknowledge
you fired
the
that off a
princesses
little
in
too
your
quickly.
life. I'm talking.
I was talking to your wife,
Oh, okay.
who was trying to finish her thought.
I'll put on my pretty dress. I don't like wearing dresses anymore.
Well, you're supposed to show your royal nature by great acts of kindness and your heart of gold.
Oh,
I
see,
guess I'm not-
Jody was made for this.
All right? It's like she's
I'll
born a princess.
try.
So. All right. They also may be bold and confident, ready to take on a new challenge today.
Yeah.
So whatever your gift is, there's a princess inside of each one of you ladies. And if you don't know what it is yet, just jump out there and do it.
I honestly thought you were just going to say, there's a princess inside of each and every one of you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's too easy.
Oh, so
That's too easy.
let's move on.
All right, moving on.
What do princesses eat? You know?
No idea.
Vichyssoise.
Vichyssoise?
Vichyssoise.
What is that? I know
It
that.
is-
I should know what that is.
It is a soup.
Yes.
And it's normally prepared cold. But sometimes you can prepare it hot.
Yeah.
I have a hard
It's
time
cold
with
soup, right?
cold soup, but it's pureed leeks, onions, potatoes, cream, and chicken
Okay,
stock.
you redeemed yourself. I'm not crazy about leeks, but the rest of it sounds delicious.
Right.
Oh, I love
right.
leeks.
It might
You've
be
never had
something
leek
I should
soup?
try to make. It is.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not. That's not going to be like my first choice.
My
so.
mom made like a potato leek soup that was like great.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
bad.
not my favorite. So.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, so
well, that's
our
what's
food.
going on in the country right now. We have a big interview for you today, so sit back, relax, and then let's expand your search. For those of you who follow us and have been affiliated with the podcast for a while, you'll know of our guest, Dr. Mark Sherwood. Those of you who watch us on television, I can tell you that we have a series of shows coming up in December with Dr. Mark to talk about the beginning of the wellness journey as we get ready for the new year. But his wife, Dr. Michele Sherwood, along with Dr. Mark, run the Functional Medical Institute in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they are all about total patient care, from regular doctor's visits all the way up to wellness training and nutritional supplements. They offer the whole package there. And so we're so excited to be friends with them, but they have decided that there is going to be a movie made about Dr. Michele's life. She has been an elite level athlete from the time she was very young. She was on her way to the Olympics to compete in Taekwondo, and she had a shattered dream happen while she was in training. Her elite level athlete I guess that's the right word, athleticness, took over, and she has now been driven into other things. She became a doctor, she became a bodybuilder, and her story is fascinating. So they've decided to make a movie entitled The Prayer List. We're going to throw some information up on the screen. If you'd like to get some information about this movie, to have a screening in your town, go to theprayerlistmovie.com or follow along with them on Facebook at Prayer List Movie. Right now, we're going to take a look at the trailer, and then we're going to jump into an interview with Dr. Michele Sherwood.
I know you are God. I can't believe I trusted you.
It's a gift from Michele. A honey-do list already? This girl wasted no time. This is the list she told me about. What is on this list, seriously, that makes you think you two were meant to be? Well, first, we're both adopted. And man, her parents were so young.
If he loved you, he wouldn't put you in this position. 16 years old and pregnant.
How'd you like to meet your baby girl?
Oh, dear God, Terry. Oh, she's so beautiful.
I'm Michele. I'd love to work here. I took martial arts back home, and I'm a blue belt. Well, I was about to get my blue belt, and then my family moved here.
You think you got what it takes to be a champion?
Yes, I can do this. I know I can.
They taught you well at your massage parlor's second job.
It's for my family. My father was injured in an accident years ago and isn't really able to work anymore. His medical bills and treatments are expensive, and my mother is the sole provider. I have a little sister who's still in school, and I do whatever I can to help Mom make ends meet at home.
Hey, massage girl! Is it too late to make an appointment?
Or are you expecting someone else? Come on, get out!
Did somebody try to hurt you again?
Yes. But I don't think anyone will ever believe me.
We should go celebrate. Just you and I.
No, sorry. I just can't.
Can't? Or won't?
Won't.
Won't? Won't? Teach her the lesson that she deserves.
Still don't know what you mean. I can't compete anymore. My leg.
But there are other things you can be great at, maybe even the best at. But you have to decide what that's going to be. We want to pay for your first semester of college.
I know what I want to be.
That's great. What is it?
I'm going to become a doctor.
Come on. Don't you think this story is getting a little hard to believe? Well, I mean, she's working on being a homeless Olympic champion, and now she has somebody footing the bill for college so she can become a doctor?
She became a doctor, dude.
And a woman can be anything she wants to be.
Yes.
She's got a mind to it.
Yes.
You... What?
I've been learning a lot more about my patients outside of this clinic than I have been able to learn while they are here.
Patients come to this clinic for our expertise and our ability to quickly diagnose their symptoms, not to become our friends, and certainly not to become their own clinic project. And I have no choice but to really agree with your contract. Get done here.
This list is your clinic.
We have to pray on the list, so that in all of God's glory, each item on the list will come to a fruitful and gratifying beginning.
So, wow, that is incredible. I mean, it just is very moving, just in the trailer by itself. So it's called The Prayer List. Let's talk about a little bit of the title. Where does the title come from, and what is it about?
Well, the prayer list, I actually prayed Mark into my life. I had a friend of mine that said, when it all started, you're never supposed to bargain with God. You're never supposed to have a bargain with him. But I literally was at the point in my life where I said, Lord, I am tired of this. This is too hard. This life is just a bunch of hardship for me. I either want a partner or I really want you to take me home. And I told that to a friend of mine, and he said, well, if you really want a partner, do you know what you want? And I said, well, I have some ideas. He said, well, you need to sit down and make a list. And we did that. We sat down, we made a list, and we got together and we prayed about it. And 2 weeks later, that's when Mark walked through the door.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So up until this point, now we don't want to give everything away because we do want people to see the movie, but you had been an athletic, that's probably not even doing it right. You were an elite level athlete. That's what I should be saying. And you were training for the Olympics, and it was in Taekwondo, I believe, right?
Yes, that's correct. I had a really good shot at the Olympics back in the 80s when Taekwondo was a spectator sport in Seoul, Korea. So I was hot and heavy on the run to do my debut in that year.
Wow. And so that, I know I've heard other people talk about it, some elite level athletes. We've had a few here on the show that just basically their life is consumed with that then, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was up, by 7:30 in the morning doing 3,500 kicks on a bag before the hour of 11 o'clock, and then of course to work, and then back to train late at night again. It's a full-time job, but you can't really think of anything else because you really want to be the best at this sport.
And so your training and everything seems to be, I know when I was in broadcasting before I ever got into ministry, I was starting to get some people looking my way, and my star was kind of rising. And then, things kind of shut down. So as you're heading towards the Olympics, things are looking good, but then something terrible comes along and sidetracks you. Yes,
I suffered a traumatic injury to my left knee that literally, in an instant, a person's life can go upside down. And then when you're upside down, you got to figure out what the next steps were. I had put my whole life on hold. I was literally living in my car at that time to try to make a dream come true.
And what was the extent of the injury? Because I know I personally tore the big three. I had the MCL, ACL, and the meniscus. What was yours?
Well, boy, I feel your pain, because mine is the same thing. They call it the triple triad: medial collateral ligament, ACL, medial meniscus, and that doesn't go away very easily.
Wow, I didn't know that we actually shared the same injury. So, so then you begin kind of like this downward spiral at this point, right? Everything really starts to kind of head bad.
Well, from that place, if you're living in your car, I had to make some decisions. I had to decide what I was going to do with my life. And at that time, I was a massage therapist. And one of my clients said to me, Michele, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You can't continue to just do this. I mean, massage is good, but you're far too smart. You study day and night. You bring your books, you bring your stands with you, and you set them up in the room while you're working with us. You need to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. And if you want to go back to school, we'll help you. So that's when I decided, wow, life is not just in sports. You have to sometimes expand your mental threshold and figure out what the next step in your life is going to be.
Now, there are some things that we're going to be able to see in the movie. We've got some other members of the cast that are going to be on the show with us. And actually, the young lady that's played you has been on, and it's amazing. When we first saw the pictures of her, I actually thought it was you. I didn't have my glasses on, and I really looked at just real quick, and she does very much favor you in the photographs and the posters and stuff. You all had to be just tickled as could be to have her.
Yes, and she's done such a fantastic job. At one point during the sets, at the end of the sets, I actually did tell her, I said, we look like we could be sisters.
Yeah, that's true. And I actually, again, when I saw the pictures, I couldn't believe it. It was really amazing. Now, the big thing that I kind of joked with her a little bit about too was most people, and they can't see you right now because it's just a headshot, but most people don't know that you've taken that elite athleticism now and focused it on bodybuilding, and you actually won some awards and did some stuff like that too.
I did. When you're a competitive athlete like that, you just can't stop. You're going to put your energy and effort somewhere. And if you're doing that much, it's either going to be drugs, alcohol, studying, exercise. You're going to find something. So I found bodybuilding, and I won state several times. I won the nationals. I won the USAs. I took first place in the USAs a couple of times, and from there, I still believe that I'm a bodybuilder because I never let myself get more than 5 pounds from stage weight. So if I decided that tomorrow I want to go back on the stage, it's not going to take me much to put that swimsuit back on and get back on on the stage and do those fun poses.
I'll just be somebody, if you've never met Dr. Michele, her and her husband both are very, I need to say this the right way, very impressive specimens in the natural when you see them, and they definitely look like somebody that believes in what they're preaching to everybody else, and so that's amazing. So I ask you that question though because it kind of turns the corner for really the theme of the movie is that in the face of despair and horrible things and the villain that really kind of messed with you and things that happened in your life that were bad, you turned it around, and it was the prayer list and then the natural things that you guys did that really, it's kind of the central theme of this movie, isn't it?
Well, yes, and it really is designed, it's a love story. And it's a love story of, learning to love yourself, living loved so that you can actually give love away. And when Mark actually asked me to write, if I would be interested in telling my story, first of all, I didn't think I had a story. you go through your own life and that's just the way it is. That's what you live and that's what has happened to you. But when I sat down to think about, should I tell my story? There was a pain in my heart that, I'm married to this wonderful man. I have this wonderful life, and I teach all these wonderful things and teach people how to get rid of the frauds, fear, resentment, anger, unforgiveness, disappointment, and shame. But I hadn't really turned that to the inside and resolved some of the things that were abscesses in my own heart. So in order to really live to your full potential, you have to eventually turn that love that you give out on yourself to really heal those wounds. And just going through this story for me, I had buried those things. I have burned all the pictures, burned all the trophies, just burned them because of my hurt and my pain.
Wow.
And I thought that would make it go away. But the bottom line is I still had to come to that resolve and face those things that we call ghosts, or those things that are holding you back, and those things that are on the inside, those abscesses that need to be truly healed.
And what a powerful message that this movie is going to portray, because those of us that have had the pleasure to get to know you, and of course Dr. Mark too, you can tell that a lot of that that healing has taken place. And it's such a powerful message because there's so many people out there, not just ladies, but people who have had horrible things happen to them that need this kind of healing message. And it's such a powerful tool to get into people's hands. Our guest today is Dr. Michele Sherwood, and she is the inspiration behind the movie called The Prayer List. And it's The Prayer List Shattered Olympic Dreams. And it actually debuts November the 20th, I believe. I was trying to see at my calendar over there. 21st. All right, November the 21st, here, 2020. And if you'd like to find more information about it, it's going to be theprayerlistmovie.com, and you can definitely find out so much more information about it. I actually was talking to your husband the other day, and he was telling me that you guys have started to work out some deals for national distribution and things like that, and that's such great news to hear that it's going to be heading to so many big cities around our country.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Dr. Michele, before we leave today, before we wrap this up, I know that so many people in a different way have had their lives rocked very much in the same, not the same, but in a different manner than you did. So many people's dreams have gotten sidetracked this year, shattered. And if we were going to just let you say whatever you wanted to say to inspire people, what would you tell them?
Never give up hope. There is something that is bigger than you that is holding you up. Don't let those abscesses on the inside fester. Deal with them, come to grips with them, and let them heal. And don't let those ghosts in the closet scare you or make you run from your dreams, because there is more of you, and you are capable, and you are a beautiful person, and you have a lot to give the world.
Amen. That's Dr. Michele Sherwood. The life story of hers is called The Prayer List, Shattered Olympic Dreams. It is opening and premiering November the 21st of this year. So go to theprayerlistmovie.com and see what you can find out about where it's coming near you, or even working on scheduling a viewing at your church or local viewing if you want to. All right, we're going to throw your information up there on the screen real quick. If you'd like to follow along with Dr. Sherwood or her husband, Dr. Sherwood, you can sure enough do that. It's fmidoctor.com. And then, of course, on all of the social media platforms, she's up there as well. And as you can see it there on the screen. All right. So, Dr. Sherwood, thank you so much for being with us today. We are so excited about this movie. Can't wait to see the whole thing in its entirety. I know that the clips that we've been shared with and the trailer are moving in and of themselves. And so we wish you nothing but blessings upon this, and we know it's going to impact a lot of people.
Thank you. And that's the hope that we have.
All right. Yep. Have a great rest of your day. Tell that big husband of yours I said hey, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds great.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. God bless. That's Dr. Michele Sherwood of the Functional Medical Institute in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Their new movie coming out called The Prayer List, Shattered Olympic Dreams, November 21st of this year. All right, let's take a moment and stop for directions. You know, as we were talking to Dr. Sherwood, we were reminded that people have shattered dreams that happen to them on a regular basis. There are things that are happening, especially this year. 2020 has been such a real hard time for people who have thought that 2020 was going to bring such a clear vision. It was going to bring all these things. 2020 had such a year of promise, and then of course COVID and the racial unrest and rioting in the streets and heroes dying, and so many things have happened this year that has really sidetracked everybody. And so many people have had so much uncertainty surrounding them. And, you know, as you begin to examine that and examine, you know, where your dreams are that you had when you were a kid, growing up, or what have you, there's a scripture that comes to my mind that is Proverbs Chapter 3, 5, and 6. It's probably one of the most famous scriptures in Proverbs. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." And I know that a year like this has brought a lot of uncertainty. But my question is where were you putting your trust? Were you putting your trust in your politician? Where you're putting your trust in your hero? Where you're putting your trust in your talent and ability? Were you putting your trust in what you thought you could do? Or have you been putting your trust in the Lord with all your heart? Have you been leaning too much to what you think should be happening, or what makes sense to the pundits, and what makes sense to the experts, and what makes sense to everyone around you, what makes sense to people in culture and the world, and what makes sense to, you know, what's popular? Have you been doing a lot of leaning that way? I promise you, if you have, you're feeling disillusioned right now. You're feeling hopeless right now. You're feeling much just like Dr. Michele in the back of that car. You're wondering how life's going to make sense. And the fact remains, you need to return to trusting the Lord with all your heart. I challenge you today to make a switch. Stop trusting in what you're watching on TV and start trusting in what you're reading in the scripture. Your life will take on a whole new meaning. I promise. That's going to wrap up the show today. We're so grateful for Dr. Michele and her movie. If you'd like to get some more information about it, here it comes up on the screen again. The Prayer List, at Prayer List Movie on Facebook, theprayerlistmovie.com. Set up a screening in your town, in your city, at your church. I promise you it's going to be something that you really, really enjoy. I hope you found what you were looking for today. My thanks again to Jody and Luke as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram, and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.